Just a disclaimer, and I don't blame any of you guys for not knowing because most of you are not content creators on here. But I will not be posting a big list of all the velocities summarized at the end of the video for people to skip ahead to the end. That is detrimental to the video's success because the number one determining factor for the YouTube algorithm, whether or not they think people will enjoy a video and thus recommend it to people, is viewer retention percentage. So if 90% of people just skip to the end to the summarized list that they're hoping is there and skip 90% of the video to do so, then that's thousands of other people that this video will never reach because it will destroy the video's success due to the way the algorithm on here works. Also, for anyone thinking of compiling a list for everyone else and leaving it down in the comments section, please save your time and do not do that because I will remove it. Again, this is in the interest of not having 99% of people skip 99% of this video and completely destroying its chances of being successful. Alright, we're going to do a little 22 long rifle velocity test for you here today. We'll be using this Ruger SR22 with a 3.5 inch barrel. Then the Charger 22 by Ruger with a 10 inch barrel. And then finally a Ruger 1022 with an 18 inch barrel. Got a different array of ammunition to test for you here today from all three barrel lengths. We got the CCI Standard Velocity, Norma TAC 22, which is also subsonic or very close to it advertised. Aguila High Velocity, also known as the Super Extra. I don't know if they changed their name on that. 1255 advertised, as you can see there. We got some arms core. These are the 36 grain hollow point. I believe these are advertised at 1310. Your regular Golden Bullet by Remington, 36 grain hollow point, advertised 1280. Then we got their newer Ranch Hand here, 38 grain hollow point, advertised 1345. Now I thought I had some Stingers and Super Maximums here, but I am out of stock. But we do have the Velociter, advertised 1435, and Aguila's Interceptor, advertised 1470. Now what brought this on, I'm real curious to see what kind of velocity we can get out of that Charger there. I've always really liked these, always really wanted one. And I figured that they would shoot more like a rifle and get closer to rifle velocity than a 22 pistol would. Well, we already settled the velocity, or excuse me, accuracy debate. I'll put a link under the video if you want to check it out, of the review video of that Charger 22. And then I also have a video up shooting it fairly accurately in the wind at 300 yards. I'll go ahead and put that one under the video for you guys as well. And for any of the products you see me use in my videos, like the chronograph we're going to be using today, my target stand, shoot and see targets I use, bag, safety glasses, earmuffs, rangefinder, and more, links in the description for all that. And for anything 22 or rimfire for that matter, be sure to check out the 22/rimfire playlist on the channel. I got hundreds of rimfire videos in there, including gel tests on many of these and more from different barrel lengths. But I'll go ahead and get my chrono turned on here and we'll get started. Alright, we'll do the first batch here zoomed out so you can see me firing the individual guns. Probably call out the first set in case you guys can't see them very well, but then after that I'm going to zoom in for the rest and we'll speed through it as well. I'll fast forward it for you guys. Alright, so like I said, we'll start out CCI Standard Velocity. We'll start with the shorter barrel and work our way up to the longest barrel. SR22 3.5 inch barrel. These are advertised 1,070 feet per second. .868. Looks like no read, same velocity. 877. We're getting a lot of no reads and error there. Let me try. I think it's because of the speckled lighting under the tree there. I'd either need to put it in full shade or full sunlight there. But since the sun's going to keep moving on us in this location, I just went ahead and plugged my lights in. It should be okay now, I'm thinking. So we got reads on 868 and 877 so far. .856. 847, 869, problem solved. So I got the same ones loaded up in the Charger 22 here. Again, 10-inch barrel. Got how to use a pistol scope. $9.80, $9.78, $9.83, $9.92, $9.80. Okay, now the full length 1022, it's an 18.5-inch barrel. CCI standard. $10.41, $10.57, $10.37, duplicate, $10.16. All right, like I said, we'll zoom in now so I can streamline this process for you guys and make sure you can see it and I don't got to call it out and all that. But every batch I'll call out what we're shooting and we'll shoot the shortest barrel first and then the longest barrel last. All right, Norm Attack 22. Starting out with the SR 22, 3.5-inch barrel.
Advertised 1,083 feet per second. 728.
I was like, man, was it really that slow? And well, it didn't cycle the action, so I'd say so. All right, those are insanely slow from that 3.5-inch barrel. So let's try the 10-inch Charger 22 now. All right, 18-inch 1022 with the Norm Attack 22. All right, Aguila High Velocity, as it states on the box, 40 grain, advertised 1,255 feet per second. 3.5-inch SR 22. Now from the 10-inch Charger 22. And then from the 18-inch 1022. Do one more of those for you guys that want all 5 since we got an error. Alright, now the arms core, 36 grain hollow point. Again, I believe I'll look up and insert in the video.
Velocity oddity was discussed in the beginning of the video.
First up, 3.5-inch SR 22. Now from the 10-inch Charger 22. $18-inch 1022. Remington Golden Bullet, 36 grain hollow point, advertised 1280. 3.5-inch SR 22.
10-inch Charger 22. "18-inch 1022. Now that new Remington Ranch Hand 38 grain 1345 advertised. Here we go with the SR22 3.5-inch barrel. I was wondering if that 800 something there was accurate, but then the follow-up shot, it definitely more recoil than the previous at 800 there, so that was an accurate read.
This doesn't surprise me at all because in my experience, Remington has always been the least consistent.
10-inch Charger 22. Yeah, one or two pretty far off from that one too. So now we'll try the 18-inch 1022. Could have been dumb luck, or maybe they just like that 18-inch barrel better. Honestly though, it's most likely just inconsistent loads by Remington. Alright, CCI Velociter 40 grain, advertised 1435. Here we go in a 3.5-inch barrel. "10-inch barrel. Man, those were really inconsistent there. Now we'll try them out of the 18-inch barrel. It probably doesn't pick it up on camera, but there was a noticeable difference in sound between those fast ones and slow ones there. But I also felt the difference in recoil as well. Alright, lastly here, we got the Aguila Interceptor 40 grain, advertised 1470. I think you guys will be surprised by these. Here we go in a 3.5-inch SR22. I told you you'd be surprised. 9,203 feet per second. No, obviously that's an error. I don't know what happened there. Let me pop an extra one in this guy real quick. What was that, 2 no reads? I don't know why we're having issues getting reads out of these. Anyways, those were definitely the fastest out of the 3.5-inch barrel. Like I said, you guys would be surprised with these. Okay, now the Charger 22 with the 10-inch barrel. Alright, then from the 18-inch 1022.
And that does it. Sorry I didn't have any stingers or super maximums or whatever they're called by Aguila there. I thought I did, but... So there's your results there. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you think. Again, for any of the products you see me use in my videos, links under the video itself. And for things I cannot link to on YouTube, make sure you check out my campsite page, which is also under the video. But thanks for stopping by, checking this one out today, guys. I really appreciate it. And before I forget, which I basically did, want to give my dues where they're due. Thanks to Brad for loaning the Charger, and for John letting me come out here on his range and record, and for loaning the SR22 there. Well, thanks to you guys for watching. Check out the 22/Rimfire playlist for anything rimfire, and I hope to catch you on the next one.